Alright, welcome to another Hickory Hacker course vlog. Today I'm playing East Hartford Golf Club in East Hartford, Connecticut. I'm actually playing the back nine here, which are the original 9 holes to this course from 1930, designed by Orrin Smith, who started his career with Willie Park Jr. He worked with Donald Ross in the early 20s and then went off on his own in 1925. With the exception of 2 holes on the back nine, most of these holes play about the same as they did back in 1931. I'm using my primary Hickory golf set today, which are 2 replica woods from Louisville Golf, and then 5 authentic irons and a putter. And I'm using a Titleist True Feel low compression ball, which is my ball of choice in warmer weather. So here's a scorecard for the back nine, which is the original front nine. The 10th is a par 5, 512 yards. All of it's just straight ahead. So it's grip it and rip it. Try to stay away from the trees on the right hand side. I had decent contact on that drive, but pushed it a little right, and you'll see here in a second, kind of messed up my second shot from where it ended up. This one lone hole. This is a public golf course, so it gets a lot of traffic. Condition may not be up to par for some folks, but you know, I'm using 100-year-old clubs here, so works for me. I just use my Gibson deep face mashie to punch that back into play. And that set up this shot here with my Louisville Golf Jack White spoon. Real happy with that contact. I've been getting along with this club pretty well lately. So it sets up probably about 45-50 yards out. Looking at trying to run this up with my MacGregor flanged mashie. I started that too far left, so didn't really get any of the contour of the fairway in front of the green like I was hoping to, leaving me with this long putt from the fringe. So that'll be a double bogey to kick things off. Number 11 is a long par 3, 188 yards. I use my Louisville Golf Jack White spoon off the tee on this hole and often find myself on the left side flirting with that bunker. Thought maybe this one was going to have a chance to get over the bunker, but it looked like it hit the lip and trickled back down, which, if you've been watching my course vlogs lately, this has been my Achilles heel. It's getting out of sand. But today I'm starting to get things right with the mashie niblick, and was real happy with that out. That gave me a lot of confidence, and as you'll see over the course of the round, I relied on that shot a few times. So feeling pretty good there. Bogey, nice sand save. Takes us to number 12, which is a right angle dog leg, par 4. This was the closing hole on the original 9 and plays pretty much the same as it did back in 1930, but with a lot more trees. Big hitters like to challenge that copse of trees on the right. If you get over that, you've got a real short chip up to the green. But I'm trying to play it safe here and just keep it in front of me about 200 yards. And I'm not sure what happened there. He's using the Jack White spoon again off the tee. Felt good about the previous tee shot on the par 3. So that shot may put me in the fairway on 14 with some trees to get over. Fortunately, I had a good lie and was able to put the ball forward in my stance and use my flanged mashie to pop this up and over the trees back into play. And that left me with a choice. I could try to play it safe and aim for the middle of the green on the left, or I could just go straight at the flag and over that hump. I was feeling good about that sand save on the hole prior. And that's 2 for 2 with the mashie niblick. Set me up with a really good opportunity for par here. I was feeling pretty confident about this putt. It's pretty straight, not a lot of movement. And it just did not fall for me. That's alright, feeling pretty good so far about this round. Takes us to 13, which was the original starting hole. You've got a small pond on the left side that chokes the fairway at about 200 yards. So you want to be accurate here if you're aiming that far out. I'm using my driving Brassie here, which tops out on a good shot about 215, 220. So as long as I keep this straight in front of me, I'll be safe. I ended up pushing this right. It's kind of the theme of the day with the Brassie, and that clipped a tree and took a lot of distance off. So I've got a punch shot opportunity here using the Tom Stewart 2-iron and just trying to keep this low underneath the branches and advance it as far as possible, which I did. Was real happy with the contact I got and the trajectory, but got unlucky and it rolled into the pond. So here I'm playing my 4th shot using the flanged mashie about 35 yards off the green, and perfect contact. Dropped it right on the green where I wanted to and rolled it in. Woo! Probably need to work on my celebration. Anyway, just wanted to prove that the ball found the cup, and there it is. So I'm feeling real good now, going into 14, which is another dogleg right, not as severe as 12, but same game plan, just trying to get straight into the dogleg about 200 yards, using the driving Brassie here. Pulled that one, but not too bad. Ended up on the left side, but in the fairway from about 165 out, which is the wheelhouse for my Tom Stewart 2-iron. And I got real nice contact on that one. Ended up dropping this on the left side of the green where there are some mounds, and got a lucky break off the mound into the middle of the green, leaving me with this very makeable birdie putt. I took my time reading that putt, but just didn't see that much of a break to the left. So, still real happy with that par. Number 15 is a 150-yard par 3. Got trouble on the left with 2 bunkers and 1 bunker on the right. And this has been traditionally a hole that I'm real comfortable using my Gibson deep face mashie on. And I like to try to draw the ball into the hole, so that's what I'm setting up to do here. But it just never drew and was a straight push to the right of the green, right of the bunker, and underneath this tree. So in hindsight, the smart play here would have been to chip it in front of the green and not try to challenge that bunker, mostly because the branches just out of the screen here are pretty low, and the shot that I was attempting here, which is a shot that I had done well a few holes prior, I just didn't commit because I was worried about hitting into the branches. So ended up hitting that into the bunker, and now I'm short-sighted, so I'm not confident with the shot that I used on number 11 to get out of the sand. And when you're not confident, this happens. Just a weak shot. So now I'm kind of on tilt. I know that I should have played it smarter. In course management, it's definitely blown up the scorecard on this hole. Just one bad decision after another. So here I'm trying to right the ship using, I believe this is the mashie niblick, to try to chip it, and I just didn't get enough behind it, so leaving myself with another fast chip now and not taking my time, so this hole's fallen apart completely for me. Whew. So after going bogey par par, I end up triple bogeying that hole. That takes us to the closing 3-hole stretch, which is a par 5, par 4, par 5 sandwich. Didn't get the drive recorded on the par 5 16th here, but it ended up off to the right side. So again, using the Tom Stewart 2-iron to get it back into play, and got real good contact from that lie, but ended up putting it into the creek. So I had to take an unplayable lie here. Probably still stewing about the triple bogey on the previous hole. So trying to work a little more magic than I was capable of, and ended up shanking this one onto the 9th fairway. I believe that's the 9th hole. These guys were gracious enough to let me try to play out of it. Using the flanged mashie here from about 130 yards out. I had to get over some trees, so a lot going on here, but put good contact on the ball, and it went where I wanted to. The guys even gave me a little congratulations there, which was nice. So after all that, I still find myself with a bogey opportunity here if I can get this putt to drop. It's tracking pretty well for most of that putt, but I didn't start it high enough. So that leaves me with about 3 feet for double bogey here. And fortunately, I got that one to fall for me. So, moving on to 17, which is a par 4, straight ahead, quite a bit of room on the right side, which is where I usually end up. I should add here too that the 16 and 17, probably the least inspired holes on the back 9 in my opinion. The original holes are pretty interesting, and Smith actually supervised the construction of the additional 9 holes with his protege Al Zakoris in the mid-50s. But I just feel like Smith's original 7 holes here are the most interesting on the course, which is why I decided to profile those first. So here I am in my familiar spot on this hole on the right side. The rough's not too bad, but it's thick enough that I don't want to use the Jack White spoon from this distance, which is probably about 185. So I'm using the Tom Stewart 2-iron to get it back into play. Got nice contact there, and this ball would end up settling about 30 yards short. That left me in position for one of my favorite Hickory golf shots with the flanged mashie. If the fairway was in a little bit tighter, better condition here, I'd try a true run-up, but went with the bump and run here instead. And I dropped that right where I wanted to, but you can see that unfavorable bounce to the left, which puts me on the high side of the hole for a tough left to right putt. I read this pretty well, and it was tracking, and just missed the hole. But it was a good effort. And another one just close but not quite. So I end up with a double bogey on this hole. That brings us to 18, which is a par 5 with a creek that bisects it at a pretty critical spot, which forces you to decide if you're going to go for it with your second or lay up. I usually end up laying up because I just don't have the distance with these clubs. So using the driving Brassie off the tee and just trying to keep it straight ahead. This ball started out on the line I wanted, but ended up peeling off to the right and got on the other side, right side of the trees on the 17th hole. So I just made this long hole a lot tougher for myself. Fortunately, I had a good lie here, using the flanged mashie to get myself back into play and try to advance it some. And I was able to do that. Got a little unlucky where this ball finished because it didn't get back into the fairway on 18, and found myself in some pretty lush rough here. So at this point, I'm close enough to the creek that I know I can get over it, but I don't have enough club probably to get up to the green. So just really trying to hope to get this into the fairway on the other side of the creek. But I got real good contact again with the flanged mashie, and the ground was hard enough up near the green that this ended up settling about 25 yards short of the green. So here I'm faced with another decision to play it safe by going right or challenging that bunker and going after the tucked pin behind it. And at this point in the round, I figured, what the hell, I'll go for it. Felt good about the lie and felt like it was a good opportunity to redeem myself with the mashie niblick after that unfortunate situation on the par 3. And the gamble paid off. That was a nice way to close out with the mashie niblick after the inconsistency. And that was another putt that was close but not quite. It's kind of the theme of the day, but generally pretty happy with how I was rolling the putter. And that'll close out my round at East Hartford Golf Club. It's a fun public course and one of the most affordable options in the Hartford, Connecticut area. I'll show you the front nine in a future course vlog. That'll do it for this one though. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, please like and subscribe.